That's why there should be no free trade agreement. There should be nothing allowing businesses to export jobs overseas. Now, he goes on to say about everybody being equal. True, this is very true. But how ironic that a Republican from Arizona would be saying this in the very state that has denied human rights to 12,000, no, 12 million people. Any country or any group that is aggressively anti-immigrant, treating people like criminals for just looking for a way to feed their families and pay medical bills as criminals. That group cannot call itself working for human rights or to say that they're treating everybody equal because they are not. Arizona, get your facts out straight about immigration, whether legal or not, and then tell me then only then will I let McCain tell me about people being equal when your bigotry is finished. McCain, all McCain represents to me is a bigot from Arizona where immigrant rights are being denied, where the basic right to feed one's children is being denied. And then McCain said that he picked a good partner to help him with as vice president. Sarah Palin, you're a hypocrite. How dare you say that other people don't have any experience when your experience is even worse? Don't tell me you have a foreign policy track record. You just been leading the state national guard and having the national guard that belongs to your state going abroad does not qualify you as having foreign policy experience. I'm sorry, because once your guard leaves your state, it's already in federal hands. They're talking about making mortgage payments, you know what it's like to make mortgage payments, and yet she's backing up a guy who refuses to do anything about all these people who are losing their houses due to corrupt, deceptive practices from the lending industry. Then they talk about her knowing what it's like to have to pay for gas. Yet in Alaska, she and her state legislature voted to increase gasoline tax. Please, once again, favoring the wealthy petroleum industry. You're not here for the Americans. You're here for the wealthy oil aristocrats. You're saying that you are wanting to change the me first, country second, yet you're supported and voted 90% of the time with a person who had that attitude in the first place. Bush and Cheney. They're the greedy bastards who undermined our constitution and then went to the me first, country second. The ridiculous search for oil in Iraq, which is a real reason for the war in the first place, is proof of it. Well, we have our taxes paid the School of Americas, which sponsors so much terrorism in Latin America, which is right here, right across the border. Don't tell me change is coming. If you vote 90% along, if 90% of your votes are cast alongside with the tyrant we have in office right now, don't tell me you're for change. Changing just 10% is not real change. That is just trying to cover the sun with one finger. Tell me you're about change when you went really over 50% against the current administration. Don't tell me you're a maverick. You are not. 90% with the status quo is not changed, and it's not a maverick. You are mislabeling yourself, and it's a shame that you're hypocritically thinking you're going to change things when 90% of the time you have supported the corruption including the current administration. That just shows your lack of judgment that you talked about. Don't tell me that you don't work for special interests. It's obvious you do. Pollen raising taxes, oil taxes. Yeah, so much about not raising taxes, huh? You brag a lot. Supporting a war that was only based on oil and on lies and deception. It's ridiculous. Let's see. What other things did I find that you made a mistake? Don't tell me you fought to end corruption. It's clear you are supporting the corruption. Bush's administration was nothing but corruption based on deception, deceiving the American public to supporting a war that would only make his industry richer in this country. Don't tell me you fought to end you fought big spending when you're supporting a war that should not have happened in the first place. We have no business in Iraq when all those millions, maybe even billions of dollars you're spending in Iraq should be going to my classroom. I'm a teacher. Should be going into giving us what we need to be able to give quality education. And then you get out, then you go off, you steal our money to pay a war that was based on deception, and then you get out, and then you go off telling us how education is failing. You Republicans are the reason why education is failing. If it weren't for all those funds you're stealing from the schools to pay your irresponsible war, school would be much better. Because where does Bush get off assigning Margaret Spellings as Secretary of Education? That lady has no experience teaching, so why should she have the power in making up her mind? She studied law. I don't go into a courtroom telling lawyers how to prepare their case. I sure don't expect a lawyer telling me what I can and cannot do in my classroom and what is the best way to teach my children. That's what I went to college for and got my bachelor's as well as my teaching credential. Margaret Spellings has no teaching credential whatsoever, so she has no business telling teachers what to do and making decisions for teachers. You say you fought to send more troops to Iraq. That's just evidence how you are in favor of wasteful spending. The war in Iraq is wasteful spending when that money could be better spent reducing the recession that we have here in the United States. And don't tell me there's no recession. Doing so will only prove how you are incapable of leading this country because you are out of touch with the needs of the American citizen. Now, you say you'd rather lose an election rather than the war? Open up your eyes. The true victory in a war is measured by the economic status of the nation. We already lost this war. We are in a recession. Our children have already lost the war because since your idiotic war has taken the funds that would have better been spent funding No Child Left Behind, now all children have been left behind because we had a lawyer who has no teaching experience pushing for it, as well as inappropriate funding. Duh! How do you expect a school or a program to be successful if there's no funding? Duh! Where is your policy? Where is your common sense? You're showing me you don't have the judgment to lead the country by expecting this country to